I'm going to tell you guys about the time I lost my freedom. This was in 1998 in a small government office in Maoming, China. And this place is tiny, it's chaotic, it's noisy in there, phones are ringing, people are talking loudly in Mandarin and in Chinese, people are taking pictures, there's crying in the room. It's really, really crazy in there, and I'm really, really uncomfortable. I was 38 years old at the time, and I was working as a news photographer. All my friends were news photographers, so after work, we'd go have a few beers, we would trade stories, just whatever, did whatever I wanted to do. And then I went home at night. My wife was a professional too, so she'd get home. We'd go out to eat whenever we wanted to. We'd go to movies whenever we wanted to. We'd travel whenever we wanted to because we had some extra money. We just had total freedom. We loved our lives. And that all changed in the small, chaotic government office. We were there with 9 other American families to become parents. We were adopting young children from China. On one side of the room were all the American families against a wall, and on the other side of the room, against another wall, were 9 young women. And now these were the nannies. These were the women who were taking care of the children that we were adopting. And each young woman held a small child. Now what would happen is there was a government official in the room, and he would call out a family's name. The family would step forward, and then one of these young women would step forward, and they would hand over the child that the family had been matched with. And as they're calling out these other names, I'm getting more and more nervous because, I'd never been a father before, and I had no idea what that meant. I did know that it meant that I was going to lose all this freedom to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted to do it. And I wasn't so sure how I would handle that. I wasn't, I'm not sure I was cut out to be a father. Finally, our name is called. And so Brenda and I step forward, and on the other side of the room, this young woman steps forward, and she had on this bright yellow t-shirt. This woman had on a bright yellow t-shirt, and right in the middle of the t-shirt was a smiley face, a big smiley face. And she steps forward, and she smiles, and she hands over this bundle, and she hands it to me. She doesn't hand it to Brenda, she hands it to me. So I don't know what to do. I reached out and I grabbed this thing, and I'm holding it like this and look down, and it's a little child in there, and she's looking up at me. This little child's looking up to me. She's got big eyes. She looks like she's about to cry. I can tell she's confused. She's frightened. I don't look familiar to her. Brenda doesn't look familiar. All this chaos is going on. It's probably very upsetting to her. Brenda says to me, "Steve, hold her close to you so she feels safe and she feels secure." So I did. I lifted this little girl up, and I just held her like this, and I can tell she's still real scared. She's like looking around, and so after like 30 seconds of her looking around, this little girl looking around, finally she lays her head down on my shoulder. I can feel it. And I knew at that moment that for the rest of my life, I would be responsible for this little girl. No more doing whatever I wanted to do, hanging out with my friends whenever I wanted to, going with Brenda wherever we wanted to go, whenever we wanted to go do it. Now, our main charge was to take care of this little girl. I'd lost total freedom. I was a father, and it was the happiest moment of my life.